I did a little bit more research to see how many properties the landlord owned, and it was only showing that one. It was only showing that property.
What's wrong with that?
Well, he was still living in that property. He was still living in the property. After some more digging, he was still living in that property.
I see what you're saying. He had to have owned at least two. Because he had to own that one and where the owner lived.
Yeah.
So Sam found out that the owner of the house still lived in the house that the tenant said he lived in.
So all he did was just drove a fake lease, you know, to
his
show
friend.
to his friend. Yeah.
So you advise people that what could they do to not be caught with the friend landlord phone call? I get it all the time.
I would go to where they currently living at before they move out of your property.
Tell us what we did.
Before they move into your property.
Okay.
I would go sit down with them in their house, you know, just to see, you know, the condition and the cleanliness of their house. So you know exactly, you know, how they're going to take care of your house once they move into it.
Very true.
That's something that I probably should have did. I probably should have went to where they were living at.
Gotcha. So that's what is that something that you're practicing now?
That is something that I'm practicing now to this day. You know, before they move into any property that I own, I'm going to go to where they currently live at.
Good.
So make sure there's no roaches, you know, running around, or there's no holes in the walls or anything like that.
Smoking.
Yeah.
Has that worked out? How's that worked out?
I think it's worked out pretty good. The last tenant that we put into Kingsley Lane, they took real good care of the property. These tenants that we just put in there, I went and checked it, you know, where they stayed at. They kept it very, very nice. So, you know, I'm pretty sure they're gonna do the same on my property.
Good, good. So the biggest lesson you learned was screen tenants, background checks, verify landlord is a real landlord. Anything other big lessons you learned with that one, Sam, that you want our viewers to see? Because I remember that was causing you some real grief, man. I remember I don't remember the exact incidents, but I remember that time in your life, you know, it was like a 2-week thing that was just stress. So tell me, have you used it? Tell me about the previous property manager and what you're using now, if you don't mind. A little bit of history.
Well, the property management that I'm using now. Or,
either one, you start now or the one?
The property manager I'm using now, that's you.
I appreciate it.
And it's going pretty well. You helped me to get a nice Section 8 tenant into the property that is paying on time. You also helped me properly screen the tenants.
All right.
And make sure they didn't have any prior evictions, and you know they were able to afford where they were moving into.
Yeah. Did they keep the place pretty nice?
Yeah, they kept the place. Well, the last tenants that moved out kept the place very, very nice.
I thought it was spotless.
Yeah,
you could nice. Eat off the floor.
Yeah, just normal wear and tear. But other than that, in my experience, it could have been a whole lot worse.
Way worse.
Way worse.
You can see one of Sam's move outs in one of the days in the life. I'll put a link to one of the previous days in the life of a real estate investor where we walked through the tenant. After the tenant moved out, we did a property inspection. How about your last, have you used other property management companies too, Sam? How's your experience with them?
My first experience with property management, I went through Prudential Town Realty. It was a very, very horrible experience.
Why is that?
Well, before I left the area, 'cause I'm still active military. Before I left the area, I hired Prudential to put a tenant in the property. They were horrible. I had to end up firing them once I came back. Once I got back to Virginia, I was deployed out of the area for about 7 months.
What happened?
Well, I hired them, and you know, I put about $5,000 into the property, getting nice and fixed up. It was to the point where I didn't even want to move out of the property. That's how nice it looked. So
this the one in Hampton?
Yeah, the one in Hampton. So Prudential Town Realty, while I was out of the state, they found a couple, 2 females, and they had about 6 kids. Moved them into the property. Everything was going fine. I was just, you know, collecting my rent on time. So the first hiccup was I get a call from Prudential Town Realty saying that we need to install an exhaust in the pantry area for the dryer.
There wasn't one there before?
Yeah, there wasn't one there before. So I sent her some money.
You said Prudential?
I sent Prudential some money to get it done. She even called me back and told me, yeah, the job's done, it's complete. Gave me a receipt for it and all that. So fast forward 7 months later, I come back to Virginia. as soon as I get back to Virginia, the tenants start to pay late. So they pay rent late. So I pretty much, you know, told her, we need to get them out of there. But before we can get to the eviction, I had to come back to the house and do an inspection. I wanted to do a walkthrough to see what, you know, state the house is in. So as I go back to the pantry area where the exhaust was supposed to be placed, there was no exhaust there.
Really?
It wasn't there. So I'm doing the walkthrough with the property manager. So I turned back to the property manager and was like, I paid you money for this, where is it at?
Yeah.
And she was scratching her head, no, I thought it was done. So she didn't come back and verify that whatever contractor she hired.
Oh, wow. They just took the money.
Verified that the work and just took the money. So that was the first red flag for me to let me know that I need to get out of this situation. So after that, I was like, you know, you're done.
Yeah,
you know?
Can't believe anything you say.
Yeah, so I didn't even get to, you know, do the eviction with her. The tenants ended up paying me what they owed.
Okay.
And I told Prudential Chambers that I no longer needed their service.
Yeah. You know, Sam, I hear that more often than not. I'm telling you, I don't have any good experiences with property managers because they take your money for the rent, they take their cut, and then any repairs, they take their money off the repairs and they give you what peanuts is left over.
Yeah.
Is that what they're doing to you too?
Yeah, pretty much. Cause I went through, you know, whatever guy she found.
Yeah.
To do, you know, to fix up.
So was that your only property manager?
No, after I fired her, of course I had to put somebody else in place. All right. Before I left, there was a gentleman that came and cleaned my carpet, and he wanted to do property management for me. He said he had a whole bunch of properties out here in Virginia. This is what he does. He told me that he was going to charge me 6%, a lot less than what Prudential was, you know, charging me. But at that time, I was like, you know what? A friend had advised me, go with somebody that's a professional. That's why I went with Prudential Title Realty.
I got
and that came back and bit me in the behind. So I called him back, you know, to see if the option was still available. He told me, like, you know what, I can't do it right now because I'm a little bit overwhelmed with the amount of properties that I have right now. But I have somebody else that has taken on a portion of my properties that will charge you the same amount that I said I was going to charge you.
Okay.
So I was like, cool. So I met her, nice female, we spoke, and the tenants that were currently in place, they began to default more on their payments. And
who put them in place? The second they did.
Well, they were in place from Prudential.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So now I put the second property manager in place to manage them. Okay. So once they started paying late again, she was able to quickly get them out of there and get them evicted.
Nice, nice.
During this time, I was out to sea. So now she had the job of placing a new tenant into the property.
Yeah.
And this is where it goes to the left again, Chris. When
real estate goes bad.
So I'm out to sea during this time. And she's, you know, she's giving me updates. You know, we're still working on the property, getting everything ready because, you know, the last tenants destroyed the property.
The one from Prudential?
Yeah, one from Prudential destroyed the property.
Right after you had it all nice?
Right after I had it all nice. Like they like the walls, when I left the walls were white, when I came back they were burgundy. Well, not burgundy, they were beige. They were beige. So, the place
from smoke or from just dirt?
There's dirt. I think there's dirt. I don't think they smoke. I just smell smoke inside the property.
Unreal.
The place was badly infested with roaches.
Oh god.
It was infested to the point where the neighbors were complaining about roaches.
Oh my lord! I never knew it was that bad.
Yeah, so we had to you know, get somebody in there to exterminate, you know, the roaches and stuff like that. And she was in charge of all of that. So I'm sending
that wasn't
her money.
cheap, no doubt.
No, yeah, so I'm sending her money to get all that done, clean everything up, get the carpets clean, we paint the walls. She gave me a timeline as to when she's gonna get that done. She claimed that she met the timeline, and now she was trying to find a tenant to put in the property.
Gotcha.
So this was around November time frame going into December. I was out to sea for about, I think, 2 months during that time. And we were getting ready to pull in maybe in about 2 weeks. So I called, tried getting in contact with her to see if she had, you know, got a tenant in place. So the first time I called her, she was like, nah, I have somebody in mind, but they're not moving in until, when did she tell me? They were not moving in until December. So I gave her a call again, probably about a week before, you know, we were going to go into December to see what the status was. And she was like, no, there's still some things that we got to fix up in the project before they can move in. So the 1st of December came, we're pulling in, and I'm trying to get a hold of her, but
you coming in from out of sea,
out of
the
sea.
military, okay.
Trying to get a hold of her, but I can't get a hold of her. The phone, I think it was saying the phone was disconnected.
What?
So,
was this a company or just a private individual?
Private individual.
Okay.
Yeah, that claims that she had her own company. And that's something that I also should have checked. I should have checked the business license to make sure it was still valid.
That's true.
Because after I did some digging around after the fact, it was expired.
Okay.
So I pull in. She told me that she's gonna have a tenant in there by December 1st. I pull in. I think a little bit after the first, probably like the 3rd or the 4th. I pulled in. So I couldn't get a hold of her. So I was just gonna go, invite myself over to the house, introduce myself to the tenants, make sure that they were comfortable, make sure everything was going good.
So they did move in on the 1st.
Well, they moved in from what they told me. They moved in November.
Okay.
Yeah. So that was another red flag that came up. So
when
I spoke to her in November, she told me that they were still doing work to the property.
Yeah.
And that they were gonna move in on the 1st because of that.
Gotcha. Okay.
Right.
So you just arbitrarily drove by to check on your house?
Yeah. I just drove by to see if there was anybody in there.
Yeah.
Because she told me they were gonna be in there by December 1st. I also specifically told her, do not charge them a security deposit. I was gonna give them the first month free, just so I can get somebody in there quickly.
Yeah.
I was gonna use their first month's rent as the security deposit.
Okay.
Right.
That's a smoking deal.
Yeah, so I approached the property, the tenants are in there. After talking to them, they told me that they've been in there since November. That they paid the property management security deposit.
Oh my Lord.
And first month's rent already.
Oh wow.
And that they were getting ready to go down to the city because they were having issues with the AC and heating unit and it wasn't working. And they've been complaining about it since they moved in, and she hadn't done anything to fix it.
So this lady received a security deposit, $1,300 or whatever, and first month rent.
And first month's rent.
Oh man, Sam.
And then tried to charge them a late fee because she let them move in without paying the total rent.
Yeah.
So she did charge them a late fee. That
unbelievable.
She was saying that they had to pay. So yeah, they were saying that we're about to go down to the city and see if we can put this rent in escrow because we don't have any heat, And probably the reason she didn't come back to me about it because she didn't want me knowing that there was somebody in the property. She wanted to collect that money. So
unreal.
During that time, I took care of all of that. Took care of the heat for them, and I'm still unable to get a hold of her. So they gave me her new number because her old number got cut off. So before I can contact her, she contacted me. I left the area, went to New York to go see my family. She contacted me, like, hey, I'm just calling to give you the status of what's going on with the property, right? She has no.
Have you got any money yet? Oh.
She has no idea that I went over to the property.
She thinks she's still gone.
She thinks I'm still gone.
Okay.
She thinks I just came back. She doesn't know that I went over to the property and introduced myself to the tenants. So this is what she tells me. She says, we still got a few things that we got to take care of with the property. The tenants are not going to be able to move in until January 1st. Like,
I can't believe it.
So I'm looking at the phone like, I just met the tenants. I met them. They told me that they paid you a security deposit after I told you not to charge them a security deposit.
Did you tell her that?
No, I did.
Okay,
I did. I mean,
I
I told her, you know what, that's cool. I'm gonna be back in Virginia.
So you didn't even act like you didn't know?
I acted like I didn't meet the tenants. I didn't let her know that I met the tenants. I told her, I'm gonna be back in Virginia next week. We can sit down and talk. Because during that time, the contract that me and her had was set to expire. So she was more concerned about renewing the contract so she can get paid. So when I got back to Virginia, I called her up and I told her, let's meet in Barnes & Noble. It was a neutral place, a lot of people around, because I knew it was gonna go down. So I meet her and she pulls out a contract. She was letting me know, like, the property's looking real good.
This is after she's got $2,600.
Yes. Yes. And she's probably collecting
off your back.
Off my back.
This is December, end of December.
This is the end of December.
Okay.
End of December. No, mid December.
She's already got November. Hold up, she got November.
She got November and December.
And security deposit.
Yes.
So she got 36.
She got the security deposit. She got November's rent prorated, and she got the rent for December.
And late fee.
And late fee, but they paid it.
Wow.
So after she, you know, she starts telling me like the property's in good condition, we got everything good to go. The tenants are gonna set to move in January 1st. Here's our contract, can you please sign it? This is when I tell her, and I'm recording the whole thing. I don't know what a recorder is at now, but I recorded the whole conversation. So I stopped her. I was like, listen, you know, I know everything.